On a night when McLaren should have been celebrating, Singapore turned into a reminder that Formula One is never free from tension. The papaya cars were supposed to be on parade, cruising toward another Constructors Championship victory, but instead the spotlight swung onto the team's two young stars, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. What looked like harmony cracked under the neon lights of Marina Bay. They clashed, literally on the very first lap, and the aftermath has left pundits and fans asking whether McLaren has opened a door it can never close. Before we dig into the fallout, hit subscribe. If Formula One to you is more than just checkered flags, if you want the rivalries, the radio calls, and the unfiltered truth from the drivers, you're in the right place. It started almost instantly. At turn 3, Norris dived aggressively inside, brushing Verstappen and clipping his teammate in the process. Piastri was forced wide, shaken and furious on the radio. His voice came through, tight with frustration. "Mate, that's not fair. What's going on there?" In a year where McLaren had been built on teamwork, this was the one thing they said couldn't happen. After the race, Piastri's words were measured but heavy. "It's obviously not ideal when you have contact with your teammate. We had spoken about it, we had clear rules, and for me, it was a bit unnecessary. I'll talk with the team privately, but of course, I wasn't happy in that moment." His frustration echoed again when he chose silence over celebration. Zak Brown came on the radio to congratulate both drivers for securing another critical haul of points, but Piastri never replied. A quiet snub, but one that spoke volumes. Drivers don't ignore their bosses unless something runs deep. Norris, by contrast, brushed the incident off when asked post-race. "Look, I went for the move, and I don't think I did anything wrong. It's the first lap in Singapore, everyone's fighting for track position, and these things happen. I didn't mean to touch Oscar, and it didn't ruin either of our races, so we move on." But not everyone agreed. Martin Brundle, watching from the commentary box, said flatly, "When teammates collide, there's always fallout. This may be one of those moments that changes the relationship forever. I'm not sure you can put this genie back in the bottle." What makes it more dramatic is the backdrop. Just weeks ago, Oscar Piastri himself defined the papaya rules to the media in simple terms. There's always been a lot more made of the papaya rules than what they actually are. It's literally one rule: don't crash into each other. In Singapore, that one golden rule was broken. Andrea Stella, the calm and precise team principal, tried to smooth things over afterward. We will review the incident, of course. Both drivers had the same opportunity at the start, and what happened was racing in tight margins. But we have to be careful. The relationship between teammates is critical. We will address it internally. But the footage tells its own story. A newly uncovered clip shows Piastri's car twitching violently on the curb, Norris's papaya nose barely avoiding breaking the rear suspension. It was inches away from ending both their races before they'd even completed a single lap. The debate now stretches beyond the team garage. Fans and pundits are asking whether McLaren should have been firmer from the very start. One camp argues they should have let their drivers fight freely, Formula One at its purest. Another insists management failed, that this is exactly why teams impose strict orders in high-stakes moments. One analyst summed it up sharply: "You can't tell the world you have one rule, don't hit each other, and then shrug when it happens. That undermines your own authority." Piastri's body language all weekend has reinforced that something shifted. Walking through the paddock, he kept his head down, avoiding eye contact with media, a contrast to his usually open demeanor. When asked if he still trusted the team's process, his reply was short: "We'll see." Norris, meanwhile, seems determined to downplay it. His post-race comments repeated the same mantra: "We're still teammates, we're still working together. I don't see a big issue. These things happen in racing." But to many ears, it sounded less like reconciliation and more like denial. Even McLaren's senior management hinted at unease. Zak Brown, normally quick with a smile after victories, admitted, "We'll have to sit down with both drivers. It's not something we wanted to see, but at the same time, we don't want to restrict them too much. They are both racing for wins now, and that's a good problem to have." This is not a new story in Formula One. Fans with long memories immediately recalled Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, a partnership that began with mutual respect but spiraled into a civil war by 2016. They also think back to Red Bull when Sebastian Vettel ignored team orders in Malaysia with the infamous Multi-21 clash against Mark Webber. And of course, McLaren itself carries the scars of Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, a rivalry that defined an era and eventually tore the team apart. Those stories serve as cautionary tales. When teammates are evenly matched, no rule or contract can hold back ambition forever. Brundle made the same point when asked to compare the Norris-Piastri clash with history. Once a driver feels they're not being respected or treated equally, the relationship changes. Senna and Prost, Hamilton and Rosberg, once it breaks, it doesn't go back to what it was. The Singapore Flashpoint has all the hallmarks of a watershed moment. From the clipped radio to Piastri's silence to Norris's defiance, the sense is that the balance has shifted. What was once framed as friendly competition is now something sharper. McLaren may still celebrate a title, but inside the garage, the atmosphere is no longer one of harmony. And the calendar offers no time to breathe. Then Austin, a circuit that invites aggressive overtakes into turn 1. Then Mexico, with its long straights and heavy braking zones. Then Brazil, a place famous for intra-team chaos, from Senna vs Prost to Hamilton vs Rosberg. Every upcoming track is a potential flashpoint. Andrea Stella knows it, and his words after Singapore sounded like a warning. We cannot afford this again. We will be clear. We want both drivers to fight, but we cannot jeopardize results. The unspoken question is loyalty. Norris has been McLaren's golden child, the face of the team for years. Piastri, though, is no longer the rookie in waiting. He's a proven race winner with the speed to match his teammate. One insider in the paddock whispered to reporters, McLaren will eventually have to pick a number 1. You can't ride both horses forever. Fans are split too. Some see Norris as justified, a driver asserting dominance. Others view Piastri as the wronged party, young but deserving of equal respect. Social media lit up with contrasting takes, classic Lando elbows out versus Oscar deserves better. The debate adds another layer of drama to a team already under the microscope. So as Formula One heads into its final stretch, the McLaren garage carries both glory and danger. Will they enforce stricter rules? Will Norris and Piastri repair trust? Or is this the start of a rivalry that could define the next era of the sport? The papaya dream may have delivered a constructor's crown, but history shows the greatest rivalries often start with teammates who refuse to yield. And as Brundle said, once that line is crossed, there may be no going back.